entering the Governor's office at Cork County Jail. This poor gentleman looked after all the prisoners and everything for £250 a year, including accommodation, food and fuel. He had a staff of 23 people, and although he had a lovely outlook and quite a nice office, I'm not sure it would have been an ideal job. This is the west wing, not that one, the other one, of the jail. Silly. You can see it's actually quite bright. It was remodelled in 1870. And some of these areas down here show the unrenovated parts where it hadn't quite been modernised. Well, as modern as 1870 can be. Quite fascinating, really. I'll go upstairs in a minute and have a look. This jail cell belonged to Thomas Rail, a gentleman down on his knees. He was convicted of stealing books and other articles, but he seemed to be a little bit notorious for repeating his crimes. We can try out a cell if we really want to. Close the door, see what it's like. That little gap in the wall, there's a matching one in the other cell and one hole on the outside, and that's where the gas light would be coming through. But this would be my space if I was in prison here. I do have a window, which is quite nice. This gentleman was a bit of a con man, apparently. Being done for fraud and all sorts of things. So, oh well. This great hall was also used for chapel for the prisoners. Try and repair their moral souls and all that. This lady had her baby in jail. She'd been convicted of stealing a man's hat and some other things to pawn, probably to make some money for the baby. She was released a bit early because of the baby getting unwell. This lady is actually a countess. She's landed gentry. She's actually in prison because of her seditious views against the government of Britain. She was very concerned for the poor. So, yeah, she's also spent time in this prison. It's quite a fascinating place, actually. It closed in 1993 after being left idle for a few decades. The last prisoners were moved in 1923, and a radio station took up residence, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so it's actually quite an interesting building. This little prisoner is only 10 years old, and she's already on her third conviction. She was attempting to steal from a shop. She doesn't know how to read or write, but she does know her alphabet. These stories are actually based on true people from history, so quite interesting. This young man is only 9 and has already had 7 convictions. Here he is getting a whipping for actually stealing within the jail. Poor kid, they obviously lived terrible lives, and often they were sent on to Australia. If you look carefully down there, you will see a circular path. That's actually the prisoners' circle exercise yard. They were walking in single file around that circle so they couldn't talk to one another, and that was their exercise. This is the warder's room where they might play cards during their time off. Unfortunately, they weren't very well regarded and often were not far away from the criminals themselves. And they might even get charged and end up in amongst the ones that they'd served with as guards. not a pleasant finish. This staircase runs all the way down the building, down this end of the wall, and then all the way down to there. And that chair at the bottom is actually a mobile weighing station for weighing prisoners. It could be wheeled in and out of the cells, and they were weighed. Very good little invention.